A new study has shown that US wildfire suppressants are filled with toxic heavy metals and are a major source of heavy metal pollution in the environment. This is kind of a wild one to go over because we don't want to talk bad about firefighters and we don't want fires to run rampant. And there is a balance to be had here between letting the fires destroy lives or putting them out with something polluting. But unfortunately, it was discovered that these substances are filled with cadmium, arsenic, chromium, and other toxic heavy metals, and they're a major source of pollution that causes heavy metal level spikes in the environment. And the products themselves contain heavy metal levels up to 3,000 times the safe drinking limits for water. And one of the reasons for this is because the government and chemical makers have claimed that about 20% of the aerial suppressants contents are trade secrets, and trade secrets are exempt from public disclosure. So while there's been suspicion of the substance's toxicity, this is the first study to confirm its presence. And as it points out, it highlights the tension between protecting human health and property from wildfires by spraying highly toxic substances versus having to protect the environment. And I gotta say, I feel like a public disclosure was long overdue here. I'm not necessarily mad that they're using heavy metals, because when you're making something like a fire suppressant fluid, I understand why. What's frustrating is that they were locked behind governmental and corporate trade secrets so that I wasn't even allowed to know what was in the fire suppressant fluids and materials that's saving my lives. People still probably don't even know if they're safe to touch or what happens if it gets in my mouth or whatever. They don't know they're going to get lead poisoning. So kind of sad, kind of wish it wasn't this way, but the modern world is complicated and very rarely do you find a perfect technological solution with no flaws.